I missed you guys. So let's talk about iOS 8. Now, iOS 8, of course, builds on the design of iOS 7 with enhancements for both iPhone and iPad. And let's start with the phone. Now, in iOS 8, we've refined Notification Center. But what I really love are our new interactive notifications. So now, if you get a message like this, just pull down, and you can reply from right where you are. You don't have to leave the app you're in. And this works for all kinds of notifications. If you get a calendar event, for instance, just pull down and respond. And it works on the lock screen. So you can just swipe across on the lock screen, you get those action buttons tap, and you've dealt with it right there. Now, in iOS 7, we gave you quick double-tap access to get at your most recent apps. Well, now, you can also use that same double tap to get at the people you communicate with most frequently. It's really handy. And in iOS 7, we introduced this great tab view in Safari. Well, we're bringing a great tab view to iPad as well, with this bird's eye view of all of your tabs. And Safari also picks up the sidebar that we love in Yosemite, with access to your bookmarks, your reading list, and your shared links. Now, we've made managing your mail easier than ever before. So now if you're reading a message and you want to remember to get back to it, so you're going to mark it unread, we can do that with just a single gesture. And if you want to flag a message, you can just pull across. There's a flag option. But if you pull all the way across, you can delete with just a gesture. But the piece I love the best is what we've done with composing messages. Have you ever found yourself composing an email, and then you really wished like you could get at something else in your inbox, maybe for that reply? Well, now you can. Just swipe that message down, and you have access to the rest of your mail. So I'd like to give you a demo of some of these great iOS 8 enhancements now. So here we are on our iOS 8 lock screen. And if I receive a notification, looks like I happen to get one just right then, I can swipe across. And you see I have actions, so I can accept or decline this meeting right here. Now, of course, I'm going to use the device. If I'm in here maybe playing some music here on iTunes Radio, I might get a notification. And if I do get a notification, I can just swipe down on it too. So here's one. Just swipe down. And there I get access to my keyboard. I can type right there. Now this works great for third-party apps as well. So for instance, looks like I got tagged on Facebook. I can like it right here with an actionable notification. And sometimes you receive notifications that you just really don't want to deal with right now, and you can just flick those away like that. That's really handy. Now, we've made getting at people easier than ever before, so if I just double tap my home button, see I have all the people I most recently communicated with, I swipe to the side, and I have access to all my favorites. If I tap on one, I have controls here to give them a phone call, iMessage them, or even FaceTime right here with just a double tap on the home button. It's really handy. Now I want to show you some of the enhancements we made to Mail. Let's go take a look on the iPad actually this time. So here we are on iPad. I'm going to launch Mail. Now I have a number of unread messages here, so let's work our way through them. Here's a message from OpenTable with a dinner appointment, and you notice that the reservation is actually called out right here on the top. Mail has actually given me an intelligent suggestion here to add it to my calendar. I can tap Add, and just like this, it prompts me to fill out and add an event to my calendar. That's really handy. Now, sometimes you get a message like this where you're going to have to do some thinking about it, maybe get back to it later. Well, now with just a single swipe, I can mark it as unread. It's really cool. You can also flag really easily. So there's a message I want to flag, just flick it across and flag. Now here's a nice message. I don't know who this fellow is, but he says, "Great collaboration. You and Johnny have really come together really well." Let's take a look at that one. Oh, dear God. Well, this would be a good time to demonstrate our quick delete feature, where I can drag all the way across and delete at a glance. I'm certain that message won't haunt me on the internet for years to come. So let's talk about composing. I got a message here from a friend who's visiting in town and is looking for a good restaurant. So I'll start replying to this message. And I'll say, let's see, check out. And then, actually I got a good recommendation from another friend here in my inbox. So I'd like to get to that now. Well, I can just swipe this draft down like this, go right into another place, another message in my inbox, tap out a selection. That looks like exactly what I want to send him, so I'll just copy that. And now with a tap at the bottom, I restore my draft, just like that. I can paste and send it on its way. I think we're all going to love doing mail this way. That's a quick look at the enhancements to iOS 8. So let's talk about Spotlight. Now, of course, Spotlight's a super convenient way to search on your device. You just pull down one on your home screen, and you can execute these searches and find things like launching apps or find an email message. But now, with those same things we showed you in Yosemite with Spotlight suggestions, you can get it so much more. You can search for apps and find matches of apps that you don't yet have on the App Store. You can search for points of interest and get Wikipedia entries and directions. You can search for news, search for restaurants, songs, not just in your own library, but also on iTunes. And when you search for a movie, you can get results both for theaters nearby, as well as content available for streaming. And when you search inside of Safari, in addition to your great Google search suggestions, you can also get a suggestion at a glance for the answer you're looking for right from Spotlight suggestions. So that is the new Spotlight. Next, the keyboard and a technology we call QuickType. Oh. So prior to iPhone, this was the state of the art in smartphone typing. But iPhone changed all of that with the introduction of touch, and we've been able to do so much more, like access to special characters or alternate character sets, special keyboard layouts, even handwriting and dictation. But underlying it all have been the language models under autocorrect. Well, now, in iOS 8, QuickType supports predictive typing suggestions. So as you type, you get suggestions for the next words you might want to type, and you can tap things out faster than ever before. And it's incredibly smart. So it's context sensitive. For instance, in messages, if someone asks you, do you want to go for dinner or a movie? It's going to suggest dinner or a movie. And it's personalized. It learns how you type to different people in different apps. So maybe you're communicating with a coworker, and it's going to say, well, the meeting was canceled, rescheduled, moved. These are kind of formal terms. But now if you're communicating with someone else where you have a different communication style, you might get the meeting was epic, awesome, or a snoozer, because it learns how you type. And when it does so in a way that's always protecting your privacy. All that learning is done local to the device, and none of your keystrokes leave the device. Now, QuickType has great language models for all of these languages. So I think we're all going to be typing a whole lot faster. Next, of course, continuity. You get all the great continuity features. So now, on your iPad, you can pick up where you left off. On your iPhone, you can set up an instant hotspot with no configuration on your iPad. You can receive your messages on your iPad, and when you receive a call from someone going like this, you can pick it up right on your iPad. It's really great. And that's continuity. Next up, Messages. So Messages is the most frequently used app on iOS, and in iOS 8, it's better than ever. So when it comes to group messaging, we have some great enhancements. You can now name your threads. You can add or remove people from a conversation underway. And if you've ever been on one of those noisy threads that just keeps buzzing in your pocket, well, you can do not disturb on a per thread level, and you can choose when to leave the thread. This is pretty important. Now, you also can share your location with people in a conversation. And if they've shared their location with you, you can see it from right inside messages. And you also have a really great at-a-glance view of all of the pictures and attachments that are shared on any thread. But one feature that I really love is our new tap to talk. You just hold your finger down on the microphone button, and then you can just swipe up with your finger when you're done talking and send what you said. And it's really great for video messaging as well. So to give you a quick demo of the all-new messages, I'd like to bring up Greg Joswick to the stage. Jaws?
Thank you, Craig. It's fun to be up here to be the first one to show you what a rich and powerful platform for communication messages has become. So let's get right into it. So I got a message here waiting from my friend and coworker, Kim Vrath. So I can just slide that, of course, as usual, goes right into my messages. And what I see here is I have a thread between me, Kim, and Craig. But what I have that's new in the upper right-hand corner is this details button. So if I tap it, it gives me all kinds of information about the participants and the message. For one, Craig and Kim have decided to share their location with me. So Craig, of course, is up here with us in San Francisco, while Kim is working hard back in Cupertino. Thanks, Kim, for that. One of the things I can do is add context. I can add people to this conversation as we go, but I could also choose to share my location. So if I just tap Share My Location, I can choose to share my location for an hour, for the rest of the day, or I can keep sharing it until I stop somewhere in the future. But what's really convenient is this Do Not Disturb button. How many times have you been in one of those super chatty group conversations that your phone is just continuing to buzz over and over? Well, now I can just choose to do not disturb that particular thread and not get my phone buzzing. So I'm going to find that useful with Kim and Craig. I know that for sure. Or I can even leave this conversation with just a single tap. What's also convenient is the fact that I have all the attachments, all the photos from this conversation all in one place. So they still appear in line in the thread, but now instead of trying to find that picture by scrolling, they all come in one place here in the thread. So very, very convenient. So let's go back to the conversation. Kim had asked me how it's going. Well, I have lots of ways to reply to her. I could tap out with just a few taps and use my predictive keyboard, a message, but it's even cooler that I can now do an audio or video message to her with just a swipe. So let's send back an audio message to her. Hey, Kim, I'm just hanging out here with about 6,000 of our closest friends, having a good time while Craig takes a much-deserved break backstage. Slide up, sends the message just like that. Super easy. And I can do the same thing with a video message or even with a selfie. So I'm going to dare a selfie here. Let's hold down the camera button. Not my best look. Let's see what Kim has to say about that. So I can see I got an audio message from Kim. All I have to do is tap the play button and hear the message.
Impressive, Jaws. You've totally mastered the duck face selfie.
Well, I'm glad she likes it. So it's super duper easy to do these sort of things. You notice that it said it would expire in a couple minutes because you don't want to have to clean these up. Audio and video messages can take up space. They'll self-destruct unless you choose to keep. Whoa, what's this? So Craig should be backstage, but he apparently has sent me a message, and it looks important, so if you don't mind, I'm going to play it back. And I can play it back in line, even with a video message here.
Joss, we've got a serious situation developing back here. I can't control this. These aren't going to work. Brian, you've got to do something. I got it. Joss, I'm going to need you to buy us one more time.
Needless to say, hair like that doesn't come easy. So while he's dealing with this crisis backstage, oh, look, I've actually got an audio message from him. Now, what's really cool is I can actually listen to audio messages and reply to them from the lock screen simply by raising the iPhone to my ear.
Hey, Joss, we got the crisis contained back here. I'm good to go, so wrap it up whenever you're ready.
And that's that easy to listen to a message, and I can reply to it the same way. Craig, it's good to hear that you survived the great hair crisis of 2014. I'll get things wrapped up here, and we'll get the show back to you. Lower it, and the message is sent. Super easy. So that's the all-new Messages app. Super easy, super powerful.